Hello, Damian.
Hi,
I'm
how are
taking.
you?
Yeah, fine. How are you? Could you introduce yourself briefly? Sorry,
Hi.
I'm now taking interviewing you.
Alright.
All of a sudden.
Right, well, I'm Damien, I'm from Ireland. I've been living in Sapporo for just over 3.5 months now, and in Japan for just over 6 months. So I'm here on a working holiday visa for 1 year. So my time in Sapporo has been spent kind of with part-time work, but my main work... So my main working time will be in Niseko, which is where I'm going tomorrow actually for the winter season.
Yeah. So thank you for letting me have an interview with you today. Because tomorrow you have to leave. You're a bit busy.
Well, I shouldn't be busy. I should have prepared everything and been very organized, but I wasn't. So I left everything to the last minute. So now everything's kind of crammed together, and I'm going to probably leave a lot of stuff behind by mistake. But
really?
I'd say so. It always happens. But hopefully nothing important.
Yeah, well, actually, that's the way things are. So, okay. So, could you tell us why and how you decided to come to Japan?
Well, that's a good question. I kind of started to be honest, I hadn't really thought about Japan before until my final year of university when until I attended a career seminar and a Japanese company was giving a talk and they told us all about the opportunities of work in Japan and the kind of place. And as I was listening, because at the time I didn't really know what I wanted to do, so I kind of said, Japan would be interesting. So I didn't get that job exactly, so I ended up going somewhere else, and the whole time I was there I was thinking, I really want to go to Japan. And it was maybe only 2 years after that first seminar that I actually finally got the money and the opportunity to go to Japan on a working holiday. So here I am now.
Yeah, but was there anything? Did you see any movie or any book or anything connected to Japanese which made you more interested in Japan?
Yes, well, of course. While I thought that I was possibly going to be going to Japan with the company that I applied to, I read up a bit about Japanese culture, there's a few magazines that I read, and customs and that kind of thing, and I thought it was all it was just so different to what I was used to. I thought that was really exciting. I also, when that didn't work out, when I didn't get the job with the company, I was working in Greece for a year, but I made a friend there who grew up in Okinawa, and so she was telling me how fantastic Japan was as well. So so I had that kind of influence as well, and so and she had me watching that Bill Murray film Lost in Translation, and there was a couple of there's lots of different things, just random factors that kind of all seem to be pointing towards Japan. So I kind of said.
So did you say Lost in Translation?
Lost in Translation?
The movie?
Yeah.
Okay. So interesting. You mentioned that movie. How did the movie look to you? I mean, it's kind of weird movie. I thought
it's a strange movie.
Yeah.
To be honest, I didn't. At the end of the movie, I was like,
"What the hell?"
Did I like that? It was one of those kind of, I saw I wasn't sure how much I liked it at the end, but at the same time, it was enough to kind of get me interested. The storyline and the cinematography wasn't really that it wasn't really my kind of thing, but it was the I don't know, the kind of the aspects of Japanese culture that you could see through the film
really?
More than the actual story that I found intriguing. So
So to maybe someone from outside of Japan think that one aspect of Japan, that the atmosphere of the movie, the movie try to describe. But how do you feel now? I mean, you came to Japan and now you are living here. So your impression kind of changed, or what do you think?
Well, there's like a lot of things that like before I arrived that I heard, like Japanese people are very, like I heard that they were very friendly, and I was kind of prepared for friendliness when I arrived, or prepared for kindness, but like I was hitchhiking for 3 months when I first arrived. I didn't mention that earlier, but so like the kindness that I found, on the road, like people just picking you up, like as soon, like there was places, I just barely put the hand out like this, and people stopped, or people saw me looking at a map, and they'd come over and say, "Oh, where do you want to go?" And like they'd bring me to that place. Like there was just so much of that going on. I was just bowled over with how nice people were, and like how much that they were willing to take the time to show you the right way.
Okay. Well, you mentioned that you were hitchhiking.
Yes.
And what was the most interesting episode or experience you had while you were hitchhiking? Or did you see any interesting people?
Yes. So like all of the people were interesting.
Really?
Some of them. Well, there was two instances that kind of spring to mind straight away. Okay, the first one was kind of a scary adventure. Like it was between just outside Hiroshima, and I was trying to get to Mount Aso. And so I got a lift with this 63-year-old guy. Like he kind of pulled up. He was driving a Nissan Altima, kind of a sporty Nissan. Like I don't know much about cars, but it was a nice car. And so I sat inside. He he was like kind of looking around. It was at a service area, so like he just pulled in. So I sat into the car. He seemed very nice, and he kind of pulled out onto the motorway, onto the highway. Off we went, like we were traveling at like 160 kilometers. Like the speed limit is 100 kilometers per hour, and like we were going at 160, and like it wouldn't have bothered me too much if the wheel wasn't going like this the whole time. Really? So I'd say he's still trying to get the claw prints out of the seat, because I was like this the whole way. So he brought me as far as Tosu, and he let me off there. But I just like the whole time, like I remember once like we were driving beside the Shinkansen track, and the Shinkansen passed us out, but I looked out the window and I was like, it doesn't seem to be going that fast. It was just like it didn't pass us out as fast as it should. And then the other time was in Sapporo. I was hitchhiking to Niseko, and this guy picked me up, and this is just kind of a contrast to Ireland. Like he picked me up, and like he had like a pile of stuff in the front seat, so I sat in the back seat beside his 6-year-old son, right? Which in Ireland, if you had a 6-year-old kid in the car, you wouldn't let somebody in the front seat, never mind the back seat. And so like that was fine. So I was kind of like, hello, and the kid was like, and so then off we went. And after 10 minutes in the car, I was like, we were having a conversation, like 10 minutes in the car, he pulls into Lawson, and he jumps out of the car. He goes, "Chotto mate," and like walks into the shop and leaves me and the kid kind of like like this in the back of the car, keys in the ignition, and comes back 5 minutes later with like 2 coffees, like one for me, one for him, and a drink for the child as well. And like I was just thinking, in at home, or like in America or any other countries, there's so much fear, and like there's no trust, and for good reason as well, because like it can be a dangerous place, that you would never leave a stranger alone in the car with the child with the keys in the ignition. Like, it's just, it would never happen.
Really?
Or no. Or like, if it did happen, like you'd kind of expect something to go horribly wrong. But like, it was just, I wasn't expecting it at all.
Okay. Wow, that's kind of things away. Yeah, we don't sometimes we don't pay much attention to.
And it's refreshing and it's great, and I hope that that guy, and I hope he can keep doing that, and that nothing bad ever happens with hitchhikers or something, because it was great. So he was a lovely guy.
Probably you look so safe, so I think.
Thank you very much for saying that.
So you came to Hokkaido for snow? I don't want to believe it, but maybe.
Yeah, well, there was a couple of reasons for that. There's always a lot of reasons for that. So I'd already travelled south, and so I wanted to come up north for the winter, partially because of the snow, partially because a friend of mine was going to be coming to Sapporo for work, and so I wanted to be in Sapporo when he was here, and also after 3 months of travelling, I kind of needed to earn some money. So it all kind of came together, and after that I wanted to go to Niseko, because I heard Niseko is a great place for snowboarding, and so I wanted to give that a go as well.
Okay. So basically, because you have been traveling a lot, not only in Japan, but in Europe, right? So basically, you really like traveling and the people, and so you think people are good.
Yeah. Generally, especially people you meet, like other travelers, I find I have great time for, and people from the good. What I liked about the hitchhiking and that kind of, because Japan was the first place I've ever done hitchhiking, kind of long distance anyway, and what I liked about it was on a train you could be sitting beside one person and maybe you'll have a conversation with them, but what I liked about the hitchhiking was on the way to in 100 kilometers I could have maybe one lift or two or three lifts, and I could have 3 completely random experiences with different people. I get to talk to them, and afterwards we all I can kind of tell a story to my friends, and they can go, that hitchhiker we had, he was strange, or whatever, but I think it's a great way of kind of
to get to know
locals as well, because I'd say only maybe twice or 3 times in 3 months I got picked up by foreigners, so it was always Japanese people.
Okay, that's good. So basically you try to learn Japanese, that's why you try to keep away from other foreigners. Basically.
Yeah, I've tried to avoid. I've stayed out of the kind of expat hangouts as long as as much as I could anyway. Yeah.
So you think is that the secret of learning foreign language quickly?
I'd say it definitely helps. I think my Japanese has improved a lot more, because I was working in Greece for a year, and I always I went to the kind of the expat hangouts, and plus I was working in an English school as well, so all the teachers spoke English and all the students spoke English, and everybody spoke English all the time, but here it's been a lot, I've avoided people who speak English.
Okay.
Or at least I've hung out with locals who speak a little bit of English but Japanese as well, or who can kind of a language exchange kind of thing, which helps a lot more.
Okay. Hey, thank you, Damian. But maybe we take some break, because you look so hungry. So I'm so sorry. I let you have something.
I'm always hungry.
Okay. So see you later.
Thank you very much.